All right, so Mr. Santizap officially dropped his WWE Crown Jewel Hot Takes video. And there are two specific takes that I want to talk about in this video right here, in this reaction. So let's get right into it.
Result. Solo's Bloodline winning was the right move. Roman and the Usos winning would have been too soon. There's more story to flesh out with Jay, Roman, and now Sami. You're right, 100%.
All right, off rip, I've seen this going out on and around a lot. People saying that Roman losing and Roman getting pinned was the right move. And I actually talked to some people about this on Twitter. My last video was about it. But let's hear his explanation as to why he thinks it's right. And I'll give you guys what I think about it.
Percent right. Everything that you said here is correct. I was pleasantly surprised that the Bloodline, and when I say the Bloodline, I mean Solo's Bloodline, won clean. No shenanigans, no interference, no numbers game. They just won because they were the more...
Okay, so that's one thing that I want to talk about. Solo's Bloodline won clean, right? One thing I want people to understand is they'll say like, oh, you're overreacting to Roman losing. It's the fact that, like he said, Solo's Bloodline won clean. So what it reads to me when Solo's Bloodline initially wins clean is that, okay, so Solo's Bloodline is better than Roman's Bloodline, unless we are talking about Roman's Bloodline just not being cohesive, not being on the same page, which is the story I think they're trying to tell. But I felt like we would have gotten more of that story if they lost because like Roman and Jay were in the middle of an argument, in the middle of the match, and they got blindsided by Solo's Bloodline, who was already on the same page. Maybe them winning clean in that way wouldn't read to me that Roman is weaker or that Roman's Bloodline is weaker. But it wasn't really because of arguing. The only part that I really remember in which like not on the same page really is when Jay didn't tag in Roman because Roman wanted to be tagged in. But other than that, it wasn't like, you know, a bunch of tension between Roman and Jay and then, oh, that distraction with our tension caused us to lose the match. So he just lost it straight up clean. And it's like, okay, people are saying this elevates Solo. It makes Solo look stronger and it does nothing to Roman. My question is, okay, so if one person gets elevated and they look like they're doing good, does that not also make the other person drop a little lower? Or does it mean like Solo goes up and Roman still stays like a God tier? Or does Solo go up and Roman drops a tier? But let's see what Santi says. Continue. My laptop.
More cohesive unit of the two. And I feel like that's brilliant storytelling because Roman's Bloodline, that being Roman, Jay, and Jimmy, they're not a cohesive unit. They're all individuals.
That's what I was saying.
There is still very much a grudge between Jay and Roman that still needs to be fleshed out.
There is a grudge.
That is fleshed out. This is not going to be...
There is a grudge, but I didn't really see that play out much in the match. Unless I have to go rewatch the match. Unless I missed something, I did not see this grudge play out much besides that one tag. But it would have been nice to see the grudge play out towards the end so it could be like a clear-cut reason that Roman and Jay and Jimmy lost this match because of that grudge. It just seemed like they straight up lost. Like,
Bloodline, as you
grudge
know it
aside.
and remember it, they're always going to have a divide. And when that divide continues to exist, they will continue to lose to the united front that is Solo.
They are definitely divided, though. He's going to make a point that I agree.
I don't know if it's on purpose, but the symbolism of the Bloodline led by Solo Sikoa all coming out together versus Roman's Bloodline coming out splintered, I feel like that goes a long way with giving us a visual representation.
So that's something that a great point that he made that I wanted to tackle too. Solo's Bloodline did come out together. Roman's came out separately. I also noticed that, like I was saying, Roman is falling and all this other stuff. I know it's like Roman didn't main event, which I get is Crown Jewel. They want the Crown Jewel title main event. But Roman also didn't come out last. Jay didn't come out before Roman. They came out separately, but Jay came out after Roman. So Roman didn't even have like the last entrance, the grand entrance anymore. And I wonder how much on purpose that was as well, that Roman not only came out separate from Jay, but that Roman came out before Jay. Like what are we saying about Roman's placement? That's what I'm wondering. Are we downgrading Roman a tier? Like he's not only not the last match on the card, he's not even the last entrance in his own match with his own family. Like what's going on?
Of the divide of this group. And now that you add Sami Zayn to the equation, the fact that he himself hates Roman Reigns, that he Helluva kicked Roman Reigns by accident and felt absolutely no remorse from what I can
I don't
tell.
know how much
There
remorse
is
Sami felt.
so much to just unpack.
I was
here.
unsure
And
of
to have
like Sammy's
Roman Reigns
emotions
and
about
his
that.
bloodline win in this match would have absolutely destroyed any notion that Solo is a legitimate threat to this group. That's the story. The story is,
so he talked about destroying the notion that Solo's a legitimate threat. So from my understanding, I want y'all to explain to me in your own opinion. Do we need to believe that Solo is a legitimate threat in the way that Solo is actually a better tribal chief than Roman Reigns? And if so, again, does that mean Solo is just that much better than Roman was, like even during his title reign? Or does that mean that Roman has now fallen to a level below Solo Sikoa? Because remember, Solo Sikoa wanted to take over as the tribal chief because he felt like Roman wasn't getting the job done anymore. Like Roman had fallen off. Like my last title said, Roman was falling. So has Roman fallen below Solo, or has Solo risen above where Roman already was, or has Roman dropped a little bit and then Solo raised a little bit and is now Solo above Roman? So I want to know about that, but let's go on to the next hot take.
having your two world champions battle it out for a title is cool and whatever, but the worst part is that in many of the fans' eyes, this determines who's the clear number one and number two. Not a good thing. I like what you said that yeah, having the two champions, it's cool or whatever. I feel like cool or whatever should be the tagline of Crown Jewel every single year, because yeah, is cool, but whatever, dude. Does this create a clear number one and a clear number two in terms of like world champions? In the women's side, I don't think so. There's just so many shenanigans that happen there. Men's side, but on the men's, like Cody Rhodes is clearly the number one guy over Gunther now. I don't know how it can be sugarcoated. Yeah. Oh, the roll-up really protected Gunther. He still fucking lost. Like, yeah, he still lost. It didn't protect him. He lost in a technical wrestling sense when he's the technical wrestling general. Like, this absolutely hurts Gunther. And I just don't see how people can say that it doesn't. Does it hurt him to the point where, like, he's buried? No, but it makes him the number two behind Cody Rhodes. I've seen people say that this is a win-win how it ended. It's fucking not. Like, it's just not. It's not a win-win. Cody wins, Gunther loses. No other way of looking at it, in my opinion here. Liv and Cody...
That's what I'm saying. So this is another match that was won cleanly by Cody Rhodes. And that's what I'm saying. Cody wins. Yes, it elevates Cody or keeps Cody at the top because he has the top title. He's the undisputed guy. But now it clearly lets you know that the title that Gunther holds is the number two title, which we already knew when the title was created and Seth Rollins became the inaugural champion while Roman was the champion. But still, nonetheless, it lets you know for a fact that Gunther is number two and Cody Rhodes is number one. And that's what I'm saying. When you lose a match cleanly, if you're losing it cleanly, you are telling the story that this side is better than this side. And that's just what it is. It was clean. There's no excuse. There's no reason. There's no shenanigans. It was clean. This is better than this, which is why I said, okay, are we saying that Solo's bloodline is better than Roman's bloodline? Because it was straight clean. It was nothing, no shenanigans, nothing. So yeah, I completely agree with that. Gunther is now the number two champion. Like I said, like, of course we know he's great, but he's always going to be behind Cody Rhodes now until he finally beats him. But he already lost to Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble and everything else. And now it's just like continuing, like he's kind of stacking on L's to Cody Rhodes. So I think that might be a hurdle for Gunther to beat in the future because right now he's not the number one guy. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the video. He had a lot more hot takes. As you can see, it's 25 minutes, but I didn't want to take up all your time. If you want to see me react to more of Mr. Santizap's hot takes, let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section as well. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is J Athletic Gaming, and I'll catch you on the next one.